This is Stooge Club! It's that time. It's time for a daily dose with me, your host, the Stooge. And tonight I'm joined with...
Knockout Fiona.
We just got back from seeing The Joker, so let's have a chat about it. Now, this is going to be spoiler-free, in case you haven't seen it. We don't want to ruin it for you. We're not going to be those people. But we are going to give you a little bit of an overview of it, so...
First off, Stooge, isn't it just Joker?
Yeah, it's Joker.
It's very confusing because everyone calls it the Joker, but...
Yeah, because everyone's silly and sees words where they don't exist. It's just Joker.
So...
Alright, so let's start with... If you're not into disturbing movies that are a look at somebody with a mental illness breaking down and falling apart, then this probably is not the movie for you, and you should probably not see this film.
The criminally insane are very light-hearted, that is for sure.
Yeah.
What I wanted to know, Stooge, is that they're advertising it and screening it like a blockbuster. There's a session every hour and the cinema is almost full.
Yeah.
What do people expect? It's not a Batman Joker movie. What are they going in with expectations of?
You would hope that they've seen the trailer and expect what they're going to get. They're going to get a film very much in the vein, as has been said a billion times, of the king of comedy, of Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver, of, you mentioned, Darren Aronofsky film.
It felt like an Aronofsky film about midway through, sort of two-thirds through, yeah.
I can see where you're coming from. It definitely has that twist, that turn, that different flavour. Like the film changes tones multiple times.
It does, yeah.
Which is really interesting because you do get most films that have a single tone all the way through, whereas this is constantly changing its pace and tone. I really enjoyed the psychological study of this character, which is basically what it was. It wasn't so much of a film as almost a study of a character of a human being that just doesn't exist, if that makes sense. Like, this person isn't real. The Joker's not a real person, but the way that they've done this film, it almost feels like a biopic of a real person.
Well, it's one of his origins, isn't it? Oh, we don't know. Or it's not at all. Who knows? So many questions.
And it's interesting for me as somebody who's been a comic book reader for a long time and has read stuff like Arkham Origin and has read The Killing Joke and, you know, The Long Halloween and all the rest of it, Death in the Family. You know, all these things that you're just shaking your head going, I have no idea what you're talking about. There's a seminal Joker storyline. So, you know, Death in the Family where he where he kills Jason Todd. The Killing Joke where he paralyzes Barbara Gordon and tries to send Jim Gordon insane, and so on and so on. Actually seeing the Joker represented on screen correctly. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, what about Heath Ledger? And I think the Heath Ledger Joker was really good. Like, it was really, really good. And I think he did hit a lot of the correct notes in that film to give you the sort of mystery and, you know, mischievous intent of the character. Yeah. But I think Joaquin Phoenix really hit the heart of the character. The damage that he has. This isn't a real human being. Like, that part of him was dead a long time ago.
He's beyond damaged, yeah.
Yeah, a really interesting film. And it is a film. Like, this isn't a movie. This isn't Fast 7. This is a film.
And that's what I was thinking the whole time, seeing it in a cinema chain, you know, like with couples on date nights and kids and families. Well, you know, like, no little kids. I did ask them that. Yeah. I did qualify. I was like, there's no little kids coming to this, right? It's not a Batman Joker movie. No. Like, there's no hero saving the day.
No, and it was again, like, if you know the character of the Joker, very few people are actually going to understand this movie. And this is hilarious, because it's like Fight Club.
Yeah, now, it felt like Fight Club in parts.
Yeah. Like, everybody that's seen Fight Club thinks it's one thing, but unless you've read the book, you don't actually understand what you're seeing. You're only seeing the surface. You know, you're getting the little scratching, but when you see what's truly underneath, it makes sense. And when you explain what really happened in that movie to someone, they're like, oh, it's so obvious. But you need it pointed out to you. It's one of those type of movies. And this has one of those type of movies. You need it pointed out to you. Not a single review I've heard, a spoiler review, a non-spoiler review, a discussion, not a single one has gotten even close. And these are some very intelligent, great film critics that I'm talking about.
They're probably looking at it as a film, Ricky, not so much the
Yeah, but not one of them's mentioned. What's the joke?
What is the joke?
And that's where we're going to leave you. Let us know what you think of the Joker if you've seen it below. Give us your opinions and comments. And did you get the joke? Until next time.
I've been the Knockout Fiona.
And you know who I am.